Welcome back to the Ref Show. We've got Roger Dilkes on the panel this week with our regular panelist David Hirst, and we're going to start with the Championship because there was one outstanding incident involving a You Are the Ref columnist who is Neil Warnock, now the manager of Cardiff City, who had a 1-1 draw at Ipswich, notable for a raging player, and Warnock trying to step in as a peacemaker on this occasion. This was Sol Bamba, who just went mad. He was fouled in the middle of the field. Off the ball, there was a reaction that got him sent off, and then he seemed to have a go at everybody, fourth official included, and his manager. What did you make of that, Hirst?
Absolute bizarre, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, that I saw a similar situation at the Reading game, and it all starts with the referee not giving the first foul.
Right.
He said he wants to play on.
Yes.
Neil actually said, I don't want it playing on because my player's down. We'd take the free kick. It moves on to another foul, and they get worse and worse and worse until it actually does flare up. How he responds to it, Bamba, I mean, that's ridiculous, to be honest.
Well, this is the tightrope referees are on. This was James Adcock in playing an advantage because it was quite a nasty. Well, it was probably a yellow card challenge on Bamba. What did you think?
Certainly, it was a strong challenge.
I didn't think it was a yellow card. I think it was a coming together. That was about it.
The thing that, from a coaching point of view, I would just say to James is this: there are places on the field of play where you can get away with playing an advantage and nobody ever thinks twice about it. But when the free kick is within about 10 metres of the technical area where everybody's congregating, then safe refereeing is always the advice. And despite the fact that, in all fairness to the boy, he looped back twice before playing the advantage because the Ipswich player didn't stay with the Cardiff player, he moved away. It was only when he got up off the floor that he started, the problems that ensued.
So what should happen to Bamba now, do you think? We'll get 3 games for the violent conduct for the red card, and then what follows? What do you think he'll get?
Well, they'll certainly be looking at the actions of Bamba after the send-off, and it's for the disciplinary committee to decide just how serious that is.
What would you give?
Well, he's on at least 1.
I'd go for more. I think it's ridiculous how he reacted, and who he reacted towards, i.e. officials, players, management. I mean, the only person he hasn't had a swipe at really is the fans, and they are watching the game to be entertained, not by idiot behaviour like that. To be fair,
Neil Warnock picked the wrong guy.
Well, you look at the likes of your Cantonas and things, what they got for the kick in the crowd. I mean, this is almost on the same level.
You double it to 6?
Oh, easily.
Right.
I think it's crazy. It's got to be punished.
There'll be internal discipline for sure. I think if anybody would predicted where it all might kick off at the weekend in the Championship was in that big Midlands derby, where it often does. Derby and Nottingham Forest, but it was a clear victory for Derby, 3-0. Chris Kavanagh was in charge, and I don't think there was anything of great note, Roger.
No, I thought he had an old head on young shoulders. He's an up-and-coming referee. I've kept my eye on Chris for quite a number of years now because he's a Manchester lad and he's doing well. He's had some really big games this season already in the Championship because he's on the Select Group 2 list, and quite rightly so. He's a guy that likes to manage players wherever possible. He's still learning his trade, but I thought on Sunday, I watched the game, and I thought he dealt with it in a very mature manner. I've seen more experienced referees referee the Derby Nottingham game either at the City Ground or at Pride Park in the past, and I thought he did it exceptionally well at weekend.
Well done, Chris Kavanagh. He had a low card count coming into the game, which makes him perhaps the ideal choice.
Well, as I say, he likes to try to manage, which is what what we like to see.
7 yellows there were, but that meant 8 yellows actually in that game, but he kept a lid on it.
But it's needed, it's a cauldron, and people lose their head very quickly, and it's a question of picking the right ones out to caution and just calm them down. The way he cautioned players and so forth, he gave them time, let them settle down before he let play continue. Right. I thought he was ever so good on Sunday, ever so good.
And certainly you are the ref experts to praise Paul Tierney as well. That was the Friday game, Brighton 2, Leeds 0, good spot. for the handball
Absolutely.
and the penalty and the sending off before Brighton's opener. I saw Andy Davis, Newcastle 4, Birmingham 0, a good performance I thought, and Wolves 4, Fulham 4, 8-goal thriller. No mention of the referee in that game, so I will mention him, Darren Bond, because he didn't obscure any of the entertainment in that. David, you were at Reading 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, sadly a defeat, but congratulations to Hirst Jr., chip off the old block. George coming on his Football League debut. Proud moment for the family.
A very proud moment, yeah. I mean, he played early in the season in the League Cup at Cambridge. Got a run out half an hour. And Saturday, he came on to make his league debut, which, yeah, I was fortunate to be at the game, and a very proud moment, yeah, definitely.
Did all right.
And he did okay, yeah. I think he played about 14 minutes, touched the ball 6 times with an 100% pass rate. So
that's good.
Doesn't get much more. Not that I'm into stats.
But you were kicking every one for him.
I always do. I mean, I have done since he was 4 or 5 years old. I jump and head every ball, kick every ball that he's near. So that's just the way I am, to be fair. I do that when he's not playing, to be honest.
Biggest critic?
Yeah, I like to think so. You know, I say the right things. I like to think, but you know, if things don't go well, I let him know. Yeah. You know, because I think that's how you improve. I'm not one that shouts and bawls about it, but you know, we sit and have a chat, and hopefully he listens. He seems to be at the moment, so.
Well, you're somebody worth listening to. I would have thought. What do you think, Dilkes? Do you think he's worth listening to?
You think he'd bring somebody else then, wouldn't you?
One of the top men.
He certainly is. Yeah. Moving back to the Premier League, Championship in the spotlight just now. Michael Oliver, Mark Halsey was full of praise on ref cam. Leicester 4, Manchester City 2. Jamie Vardy, hat-trick after 10 games without a goal. Class is permanent.
It goes like that. It goes like that, but it does come back. That is a fact. And watch him now. Hopefully he'll be on a roll and certainly help Leicester get out the little bit of trouble that they're in. And
for the hat-trick goal technology was a star again. It could never have been given in the old days because it was
absolutely
a fraction over.
You know, but as David said earlier in the programme, you know, if we can have goal line technology, why can't we have, you know, video evidence?
Well, for the rest, just for the point for me, Roger, it is the fact that if we do take the 10 seconds or 20 seconds it takes to look at a video monitor, it's only going to benefit the game, without a doubt.
I agree.
Mike Dean, the ever-reliable Mike Dean, was in good form again. Chelsea 1, West Brom 0. Ref cam's verdict, a referee at the top of his game.
Absolutely, you can't argue with that at all.
Bobby Madley, some good performances lately. Somebody that's been erratic that we're now seeing. Manchester United 1, Spurs 0.
Yeah, I watched the game, and I think you look at Bobby, you look at Michael Oliver, and they're obviously, you know, listening to what our experts are telling them. The movement's improved, they're getting into better positions, they're being more proactive in terms of, you know, their game overall. Their awareness seems to be improving, and the performances are improving as a result.
Stuart Atwell, another steady performer now, and somebody perhaps that you guys are saying should get bigger games. Yeah. Southampton and Middlesbrough, 1-0 to the home team.
Yeah,
again,
no issues whatsoever. And Stuart's, I think, probably had 3 games now. Tierney and Atwell are both on the Premier League list and the elite list. And hopefully with the number of games that are going to come up over the Christmas New Year period, that they'll get a couple of games. They need the games. There's no substitute for getting the games.
Last but not least, certainly not least, Mark Clattenburg. Just by his standards, 1 or 2 comments from the experts on the site and on this show lately that he might have lost a bit of sparkle. But Keith Hackett and others are saying it's certainly back. Liverpool 2, West Ham 2.
Absolute masterclass performance yesterday at Anfield. He glided across the pitch. His movement is absolutely superb. His overall awareness of you know, what's going on in different parts of the field of play is absolutely fantastic. Couple of things for the purists in the game. Corner kicks, where do referees stand? Far post all the time. Yesterday, not only he, but Bobby Madley as well, for balls played in from corners to the near post, they took up a near post position. And what happens? He picks Mane out, caution for scrambling all over Creswell. Now, that is a guy on top form. you know, that can read what's going on.
Tactics and positioning for referees too, Hirst.
you
It
know,
sounds better.
and-
It sounds
yeah,
good to me,
yeah.
definitely.
But
I mean,
it's
referees can
necessary.
have bad days as well, don't forget. And like you say, they thought he'd dropped the baton a little bit, now he's picked it back up, i.e. Vardy.
And this has been a good weekend for match officials generally, and much needed. Thank you for your company on the Ref Show. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Bye.